Hey guys, AJYT Abbott here, and welcome back to another WandaVision review. And today we're going to be reviewing episode 5. Yep, 5. So yeah, we are, I guess halfway through. We are halfway through this season, and man, it has been a ride. And this episode is going to absolutely blow your mind. If you have not seen WandaVision's episode 1 through 5, that's including the episode that we're talking today, then please make sure to watch those before you watch this review, to give you context, also to avoid spoilers, because we are going to be discussing some major details and major things that happened. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna save the big thing for the end. But so we get a mix of the 80s sitcom that Wanda and Vision are set in now, combined with a little bit of Monica, Jimmy Woo, and Darcy's story outside of Westview, where Monica has now woken up. She's giving first-hand information on what it's like being under Wanda's control, and they are basically trying to come up with a plan to get Wanda out of this place and subdue her in some way, because the director that is there, he is an a-hole, man. He is an absolute jerk as he tries to basically kill Wanda. He says the missiles were just a precaution on that jet that they send in there, but let's be honest, he was wanting to kill Wanda, because he was like, take the shot. Like, immediately he said, take the shot. So, I don't know, maybe something's up with that guy. I have no idea. We get maybe a little bit of confirmation that maybe Agnes isn't a witch, like people have been thinking she is. Because during the beginning where she's introduced there, not when she's introduced, when she comes in there, in their house, she says a line, and then, she looks at Wanda, she says, do you want me to take that one from the top? As in, like, should I go again? You know, how, in filming, television career, business, if you don't get a line, the way that you want it, or the way the director wants it, they'll be like, should I take that line again? Should I do that one again? That's what Agnes says. She could be playing along because she knows she's under Wanda's control, but then again, I'm not entirely sure. Agnes is a very interesting character, and the fact that, for one, Darcy hasn't matched someone up from the real world to be casted as her, because she has everybody else in that reality casted, except for the woman that was the leader of the For the Children thing, the one that Wanda was talking to in episode 2, with that got the blood on her hands that got cut by the glass. And then Agnes. So, I don't know, it's very interesting, because later on in the episode, Wanda gets a dog, Sparky. It's from the comics, I believe, and Sparky doesn't last too long, as apparently he wandered over to Agnes's yard and ate some leaves or something, but I'm almost definitely sure Agnes killed the dog, because I am almost certain that Agnes was most likely playing along when she said, should I take that from the top, because I don't exactly know what purpose Agnes is serving, and who actually is Agnes, whether or not it's a witch or something else, some other being, but something is definitely amiss with her, and Vision is starting to figure out that things are not as it seems, as he does the little mind thing that he can do by touching someone with touching someone's temple with his fingers, and then he snaps this one guy, his co-worker, out of the trance that Wanda has him in for a bit. And the guy is just like, please, you have to help me. She's got me under control, and he needs a phone, he needs to call his wife. He's freaking out, and Vision is definitely onto Wanda because he calls her out on it in the end. He's like, I talked to Norm, but I just got a chance to talk to him for a little bit before your mind control filled his head, stuff like that. And Wanda is kind of trying to just brush it off to the side because there's multiple moments where, like we've seen, Wanda is taking things from the real world and just brushing it aside. Any cracks in the foundation in her grand scheme and this reality that she's made, she's filling those in. Like when when the FBI sends in the jet, Wanda completely cuts that out of the frame in the show that she's made. I thought that was pretty cool because she's been doing that, as we've been seeing. She cut out dead Vision. She cut out her and Monica talking, and her pushing Monica out of the force field. And we actually do get to see Wanda step out of the force field for once this episode, as she carries the jet and kind of just, or the missile, whatever, throws it on the ground. And she, this is honestly the first time we've seen Wanda truly act like a bad guy, an antagonist, as she mind controls the FBI agents to point their guns all at the director. Of course, she doesn't have him kill him, but she warns them, not to bother her anymore. And she gets really pissed at Monica, and Monica's like, "We really know the pain that you must be going through from losing Vision, because it's confirmed in this episode that Wanda broke into this facility, stole Vision's body, and resurrected him. So I guess technically, while Vision's body still remains the way it is without the stone, he is in some sort of state or way alive again. So could we see Vision actually resurrected for real after this show is over? I don't know. Because as we've seen from his current state, he still doesn't have the stone. He looks pretty much lifeless, as we've seen from last episode. Things are not looking good for Vision. That being said, Wanda is trying to cover up every trace that Vision is kind of picking up on. Like, Vision picks up on the line that Agnes says. And he's like, "Wasn't that weird?" And then Wanda's just like, "Oh, whatever." And when they lose their dog, the kids, the twins, which we'll touch on them for a second too, they're begging Wanda to bring the dog back. She's like, "You can bring back the dead." And that's that part of Wanda that is kind of, I believe, that's the part of her that's kind of thinking, I've brought Vision back from the dead. Is it really right? But of course, there's that part of her that switches back on where she needs Vision in her life to be very happy, because this whole show has been Wanda trying to fill in for this life that she never got to live with Vision, of course, due to Thanos and the entire events of Infinity War. And it's very tragic because Vision confronts Wanda, and Vision doesn't remember anything about his life. It's very, very sad, because he's like, I don't remember who I am or my life, I'm scared. And he's sitting there telling Wanda this, and Wanda is just like, "You are my husband, you are the father of Timmy and Billy, and shouldn't that be enough?" And Vision is just, he knows that Wanda is controlling all these people. So Vision is fully aware of that right now. So that's going to be very interesting for the rest of the season, because whether or not what he chooses to do with that information is going to be up to him. Because if he wanted to, as we've seen from after this episode, he can very much speak to any of the characters through the stone, by touching them on their temple with his fingers, like he did with oh my gosh, with the guy that he did this episode. So, could he do that to Agnes? Actually, I believe in the trailer we do see him do that to Agnes in the Halloween episode. And I'm thinking the Halloween episode should be next episode, but due to the ending, who knows what the hell's happened in the next episode. So, the twins, they have aged up, which is just very weird because I guess there are... I don't know if that part is fabricated or she has found other kids that are in this neighborhood and she's kind of morphing them into kids that look like hers if they were grown up. Because I don't know. I was sure initially that maybe the infants were actually real, but then after this point we don't really know because as they're aging, you know, they're staying the same. So clearly Wanda can't bend time, you know. She can't bend time in reality, so clearly in reality those kids are not real. So has she found kids in that neighborhood that she has trapped there as well, and she's just making them look like her kids? That's the part that I'm kind of confused about. But this is WandaVision. There's always questions after the episode. The 80s intro was very reminiscent of such classic shows as like Family Matters and Full House, a lot of Full House vibes. There's baby Vision photos. I thought that was pretty funny. But the ending, here we go. So after Vision and Wanda's argument over what's real and what's not, we get a doorbell ringing. And initially you think, you know, just about every time a doorbell has rang on this show, it has been Agnes. So you're thinking it's going to be Agnes. There's going to be some big reveal that Agnes is the one that's causing this simulation more than Wanda, and she's kind of tearing it apart at the seams. But no, it is revealed that it is Quicksilver, right? But it is the Evan Peters Quicksilver. My jaw was on the floor, guys. It is the Quicksilver from the X-Men films, and he shows up at the end of this episode. It is him. You know, Darcy says she recast Pietro, so that means one of two things. Either she has fabricated this, which wouldn't make sense, which is why I'm thinking the other option, somehow Quicksilver was within Westview when this happened. And what might be happening also is Reed Richards making his appearance. Of course, Reed Richards, you would know, is from the Fantastic Four. You know, Monica mentions this technician that she has that may be willing to head on in there and see what's going on, possibly get some more information. And I don't know, that could be Reed Richards. Are we getting Fantastic Four introduction and X-Men Fox crossover all in the same series? Because that's just absolutely insane if we are. But guys, I've talked long enough. I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Let me know what your insane thoughts were on the cameo at the end. Not really the cameo, but the appearance at the end of X-Men Quicksilver. And do you think we could still see Aaron Taylor Johnson's Quicksilver? I don't know. I don't know if we could or not, but I would like to see him. Do you maybe think something is wrong with Agnes? Is there something amiss there? What do you think is going to be going on with Vision? Is he going to come back? Let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching once again. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, and goodbye.